I'm so grateful. This church has just been a blessing. The hospitality ministry of this church has just done a phenomenal job. They have provided food for the last 2 and now 3 nights. And we thank you so much for that kindness that you showed. One of the greatest sins is the sin of ingratitude. It's when somebody does something good for you, but you don't tell them thank you. And so thank you again, Pastor, and your hospitality ministry for what you have done. Verse 15, I found the spotlight of this text that I believe will illuminate a light of protection and guidance on the last night of this revival. Verse 15 says, on the 7th day, they got up at daybreak and marched around the city 7 times. They did it in the same manner that they did the other 6 days, except that on that day, they circled the city 7 times. Watch verse 16, here it is. The 7th time around, when the priest sounded the trumpet blast, Joshua commanded the army, shout, for the Lord has given you the city. When you look at somebody, it's the last night, we have had an opportunity to shift, to shake, and when you look at somebody and tell them now is a good time to shout. We have our work cut out for us as a denomination, because although there is fighting without, there is fighting within. And if we're going to survive the next 50 to 75 years, we are going to have to come face to face with the battles that we're fighting between generations. Because it's almost as if there is a curse that separates generations. All throughout our denomination, as I travel around the country, I notice we have the same battles. We have one generation that wants things to stay one way. And then we have another generation that sometimes has no foundation and wants things to become cutting edge and new age. And so we have the traditional crowd that's constantly fighting the contemporary crowd. And then we have the contemporary crowd who doesn't have enough patience for the traditional crowd. You just missed it. Let me see how I can fix it. We have the amazing grace crowd who is fighting against the Kurt Carr crowd. Y'all just missed that. Let me see how I can fix it again. We have the James Cleveland crowd and the Tremaine and Walter Hawkins crowd that seems to be fighting the Mary Mary crowd. And they don't really have enough patience for Ty Trebek's group, you understand? Because there is this fight, this war that's going on. And while we're so busy in the midst of battle trying to make sense out of it, we're losing the next 7 generations. Yeah, while we're in the church fighting over who's going to be the leader of the fish fry, and while we're trying to figure out how we're going to stop these new people from serving on boards and committees, we are losing our children to crack. We are losing our children to what used to be the FCAT, but now the FSAT. We're losing our boys to the jail system, and we're losing our girls to the pimps because we're in the house fighting among ourselves. It's